These swords within Citadelle Des Morts are one big change away from being some of the best wonder weapons we've ever had in Call of Duty Zombies. However, as of now, they are on the bottom of the barrel. And before you comment on this video with something positive or negative, either backing me or agreeing with me, please listen to the whole video because I really respect and appreciate the passion the developers put into the entirety of this map. No, the map is not an Origins-like map. It's not a Eisendrache-like map, but there is a true appreciation to be had for Citadelle Des Morts for a couple of different reasons, and it slots in perfectly within Black Ops 6 Zombies, especially with these dedicated melee weapon swords, and they are so close to being perfect. And I'm not saying the perfect wonder weapon, I'm saying perfect for this map. Like if you were gonna have a wonder weapon in Black Ops 6 Zombies, an ideal wonder weapon, I've been saying this before the game came out, once we knew about the dedicated melee slot, it was to have a dedicated melee slot wonder weapon, and we already have it. So now they've done that, that makes sense, but there are a couple of other things that these swords could do that they don't, and which could take advantage mainly of the Black Ops 6 mechanics and even some of Citadelle Des Morts. So right off the bat, yeah, these swords are awesome to watch. They're visually pleasing to use and to watch on YouTube or on a stream, and the abilities are really good. However, you must melee kill zombies for a decent amount of time in order to recharge the swords, and it's really annoying. It's really tedious too. Difficult? No, because the sword one hits. Tedious? Yes. Difficulty and tediousness are not the same thing. Sometimes they may go hand in hand, but they are not the same thing. So using these swords, I would pin as quite tedious because you must melee kill, and I don't know the exact number, and the exact number doesn't matter. And this is, again, not a hateful video at all because I really respect the developers a lot, and I love the wonder weapons, I really do. And it may have even been a topic of conversation, you know, okay, we'll have the swords be so that if you melee kill 20 zombies, they'll recharge. And I don't know what the exact number is, and I don't know if they're different per sword, but all I could say is that the practical feel in game is the main thing that matters, and that practical feel in game is not very good. It feels very tedious to get those swords recharged to then use to kill zombies. And this is an issue I've been seeing around the zombies community. It's been a widespread thing. I think everyone has been notoriously agreeing that these wonder weapons in some capacity are cool. Some people like them more than others, but it's just the sheer fact that they take so long to charge that it feels like there's so much wasted potential, and there is. So we have these swords that are taking advantage of the Black Ops 6 dedicated melee slot, so you don't have to waste a weapon slot on the sword, which is really cool. But what else do we have in Black Ops 6? We have the ammo crates, and within this map in specific, we have Vulture Aid. What better time to introduce 4 elemental melee weapons or 4 elemental weapons in which you could take advantage of the wonder weapon pricing being 10,000 points? Let me give you an example, and I'm going to provide a couple of different paths to how they can potentially fix or update these swords to make them perfect. Now, what I do want to say is that I do believe that they're going to make some kind of mini adjustment to the swords, and I think they're just going to, at its base, reduce the amount of zombies it takes to charge the sword. I think that is the most practical solution. I think the most likely solution, honestly, is that they do nothing. More than likely, they're not going to do anything. That's just kind of how stuff goes. But considering that something is done, the most practical solution is they either have or just generally nerf the amount of zombies it takes to charge the sword up. But getting into the fun stuff, really thinking about what could be done to really make them perfect, think about this. Imagine that there was 5 charge shots within the sword, meaning at any point in time, you can knock out 5 consecutive charge shots of that sword if you want. However, by doing standard melee kills, maybe every 5 to 10 zombie kills, you gain a charge shot. So say you go around the map, say it's every 10 zombies you kill gives you a charge shot, and you melee kill 10 zombies with the sword, that gives you 1 charge shot. Then you just go on, just say you go on to melee an additional 40 zombies. I know I just said that feels tedious, but there's a completely different dynamic there when you're doing it for a reason. When there's a real reward to continually meleeing, you'd be building those charge shots up. So what I just said is we did an initial 10 zombie melee kills, and then an additional 40, and we didn't use any charge shots. So now we've maxed out our sword at 5 charge shots, which means now if we continue to train around, we can shoot bang 1 charge shot into the horde of zombies we may have, and then maybe it's getting towards the end of the round, we still have 4 charge shots in our sword. We can melee the final 10 zombies with our sword to gain back those final 5 charge shots, and now at the beginning of the next round, you can just regularly train zombies around and use a charge shot, make another train, use another charge shot. Maybe your friend goes down, you can go run to him, race to him, use a charge shot, and then maybe another friend goes down, use another charge shot, and revive him. This is probably a weird cut, but I'm throwing it in while editing after recording, so sorry. But just imagine your Eisendrache, imagine Origins, and just imagine using only 1 charge shot of any bow or staff every 40 seconds. I mean, that's a ridiculous thing to even say. And I understand these aren't bows, these aren't staves, and these are quite literally melee wonder weapons. So it's a little bit different, but that's not the point. Again, the point is practicality. Just imagine how underwhelming those wonder weapons would be if you were limited to having to charge them A, and then B, not being being able to use them until you charge them every 30 to 40 seconds. They'd still be really cool, but they wouldn't be anywhere near as loved as they are because of the level of tediousness it takes to use them. Just something I wanted to point out, just in case you're maybe not on the same wavelength as me, and that's fine. But thinking about other wonder weapons as an example could be very important in this discussion. Back to where I was. I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility to just give these swords charge shots in terms of ammo. And like I said, this fits very well into Black Ops 6 Zombies because we have the ammo crates, we have Vulture Aid, and I understand that Vulture Aid may not be necessarily fair to recharge wonder weapons, and if you want to say that, that's fine. But at the end of the day, Vulture Aid also gives you points, and it quite literally fixes the issues in Black Ops 6 Zombies with points. I think it completely fixes everything. Every point issue I've had in Black Ops 6 Zombies has been fixed for me within Citadelle Des Morts. I don't have any point issues really ever. I enjoy my experience with points. So Vulture Aid has fixed that issue. And again, what Vulture Aid would also further allow us to do is gain more points. This way, if we only have 5 charge shots in these swords, for example, if we want to recharge the swords via those melee kills, like we even do now, right? We really charge the sword via melee kills, but we only get 1 charge shot. I'm proposing a reduction in the amount of zombies it takes to get a charge shot, as well as allowing us to stack the charge shots. That's essentially what I'm proposing here. But yeah, if you take into account Vulture Aid giving us more points, if you want to go ahead and buy a fully charged sword for 10,000 points, you can go ahead and do that, and you're then assisted by Vulture Aid giving you bonus points. Like, it all makes sense, right? It's an all-encompassing experience. We have this Black Ops 6 Zombies map. In Black Ops 6, we have a dedicated melee slot. We're using the dedicated melee slot as a wonder weapon. In this brand new Zombies map, we have this brand new perk Vulture Aid that allows you to get more points by killing zombies. And in these games, we have ammo crates that you can buy back ammo with. I mean, it's just a no-brainer here to give the sword some kind of charge reserve shots. So again, they don't have to change the way the swords work necessarily, right? They don't have to get rid of that block ability in which, you know, if you're in the boss fight, you can block the boss from stepping on you. If a parasite sprays at you, you could still block the parasite shot. I'm not proposing we completely change the way the swords work. I'm actually just proposing we add an ability to the swords and that you can just reserve shots. Now, initially when I was thinking about this and the first time I recorded this video, I proposed 20 and then I realized that was crazy. Then I proposed 10 and I still realized that that is kind of a little bit ridiculous as well. In a game where we can buy back ammo, and considering this is a melee wonder weapon, it just makes sense to reduce the amount of charge shots down to 5 or 6, or maybe even 3. And I know some people think that won't make as much of a difference, but if it works this way anyways, if it works the way it does anyways, and that you must get somewhere around, and again, I don't know the exact number, but it feels like around 15 to 20 zombie kills with these swords. If you have to get that many kills anyways, would this not be a significantly better solution and allow more pathways for people to enjoy the swords? Again, I want you to think back to Origins and Eisendrache. I want you to honestly tell me if you think you'd have as much fun with those swords, or sorry, wonder weapons, if you only shot 1 charge shot at a time. And if you really think you would, I want you to go back to Eisendrache or go back to Origins and play from rounds 1 to 50 and only shoot 1 charge shot of your bow or staff at a time every 40 seconds. You let me know how much fun you have at the end and how long the game takes to progress. Another minor problem I have is it seems the sword's not very efficient or not working at all with melee killing multiple zombies, and I don't really feel like Melee Macchiato plays much of a role in this sword either. Like, I really thought that this map was going to highlight the Melee Macchiato perk. I thought this was going to be the reason why they even have this perk in the game. Like, if anything, it made more sense for Vulture Aid to be on disc and Melee Macchiato to be the perk featured within this map, right? Wouldn't that make more sense? And again, this is not me raging or even ranting necessarily. I love this game and I love the swords and I love a lot of different things done in the game, but that's no reason to be a quote-unquote shill or blow off every single thing, right? If I was a developer, and I have some light experience in the background, but no matter what it may be, in any situation, I always want people to be open and honest with me about any of the work, even about this video. If you got a problem with it, and I see it's a widespread thing, let me know, right? Like, that's important to know. You may like 95% of my content, but maybe I'll go do a Fortnite stream one day, and you may not like it, and you can tell me that, right? Or you just don't enjoy it as much, you can tell me that. And I know it's not the same exact situation, but it's just going to show you that you could like certain things, but you don't have to like every single thing just because you like one thing. Everything's not black or white. That's a big problem we have in this world in general. People just automatically either love or hate something. There is zero in between for a lot of people. They're very robotic, which is why you see lots of fights. Now, we're not going to get into a real world life discussion here. We're going to pull it back to the Black Ops 6 game, but the point still stands. The swords within Citadelle Des Morts have some really, really cool abilities. And when you use the charge shots, they're really fun to use. However, they just take too long to charge, and the experience and process of charging them is just too tedious. And something has to be done about them, or people people are very, very quickly going to start to turn their love for Citadelle Des Morts into, the solution is very obvious. It's up to Treyarch now to play their cards in some way, shape, or form. Whether, again, that is just reducing the amount of zombies it takes to charge the sword, which I think is the most likely situation. If anything is, I think the most likely situation is that nothing is done. But if something was to be done, the second most likely situation would be, and I don't know the exact number again, but let's just assume that it's 20. I would assume the most practical situation would be, if any changes to be made, that they reduce the number of zombies it takes to kill to charge the sword down from 20 to 10. This way you're charging it faster and you can enjoy the abilities of the swords more often, more quickly. Additionally, I would like some kind of buff to the melee macchiato perk, because in all honesty, I really don't see a benefit to getting it. I really don't. Like, melee macchiato is one of the last perks I will ever buy. Even on a map in which has a dedicated melee wonder weapon, it's still one of the last perks that I would consider buying. Do let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I will still love Citadelle Des Morts in a lot of different ways, but I am really hoping that they fix the swords. Take care, you meatballs, and peace.
I've been wishing for some better days.